What's up, guys? It's about 8:30 Monday morning. I'm on my way to start a new project. It's Composite Deck, kind of like the ones I've built before. I am building this one completely from scratch. I don't know if I built one all the way from the ground up other than my own at our little vacation house. But this is going to be a giant deck as far as I'm concerned. It's about, I think, 600 square feet is going to be the new part, and I'm adding it on to about, golly, I think it's about 100 to 200 square feet of an existing deck. But I will be tearing those deck boards and handrails off of the existing deck, and kind of like I said, tying this 600 square feet into it. It'll be neat because it's going to have 4 trees inside of the deck. Really nice project, very expensive project as far as a deck is concerned. The total invoice or estimate was $15,000. So obviously I'm going to take my time and do it right. I've allowed myself 2 weeks. I feel sure we can get it done in that amount of time, but if it takes 2 full weeks, that's fine. If it takes longer, that's fine. I'm going to make sure that, because this is going to be a showpiece, I would hope. So anyway, I'm heading that way now. Obviously got to get it all marked off. Oh, that's something else. I pulled a permit for this, going to have an inspector involved, so that's something new for me as far as an inspector and a permit on a deck. So I've got to get it marked off today and dig the holes. And once I get the holes dug, then I've got to call for an inspection. So I'm going to work on that today. I think I can get those holes dug today easily. For the post, of course, I'm going to be putting 6x6s in the ground to support the beams that are going to be underneath. So once I get those dug, I might go ahead and start pulling the old deck boards and handrail off the other. And also inside of this house, they have a vanity they're wanting to replace, so I can go ahead and work on that. Hopefully it won't take too long to get this inspector out here, and I hope he don't ding me right off the bat on the holes. But that's going to be what I'm going to be working on. I'll try to keep this video short as possible, but not too short. If I have to break it into parts, I'll do that. I don't, nothing worse than an hour-long video. But I'll try to break it up and film as much as I can, keep it as informative as I can. My composite deck videos seem to get a lot of views, so maybe that's something people are more interested in. So I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, so this is what I got. All of this area, it's going to come from right on that edge out 20 feet, and about where this handrail is, if you draw a straight line out through here, going to go that way 30 feet. So it's from here over 20, from here there 30, but then I'm going to bring it and tie it in to this corner. Take those handrails down, take the deck boards and handrails off of that and that, and then make it all one continuous deck. So it's 600 from here, and then from here is about, I think that's 15. I don't know, that might be another, what is it, 15 times 15's, I don't even know, 150 something, 175 to 200 square feet, 300 something. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything marked off, start digging holes. I've already had all the lines marked by the county. There's one line running right through there, and that dog scared me. One line running right through there, but everything else is somewhere else. And again, these 4 or even 5 trees are going to be incorporated into this deck, so that's going to take some doing. Won't be too bad, I hope. All right, I finally got everything marked off. It took me a couple hours, maybe 3, by the time I set all my stuff over here up. But it just takes time, and I don't rush this. Let's see, a couple things I thought worth pointing out. It is very important to get things square. That's just something my dad and I have always, or he's always harped on me. If you start square, it's a whole lot easier to keep it square. But anyway, I had to get these corners square, and I'll show you my method. I don't know what other people use, but this is what I've just been taught to use. I put a nail in up here, because you got to start somewhere. Up here, and I, you know, kind of got that square. Let's see if I can do all this. Put the square straight right there. I'm gonna try to hold this. You can see up. Anyway, that's square. So then once I did that, I pulled this out. I know I'm going 20 feet. So I got this, you know, this one's now square off the house. Come out 20 feet, put another stake in the ground, went out through there, and just kind of roughly got it about 20 feet off of that point out here. And then I came back and started putting my triangle in here and seeing what it might need, if I needed to take that stake in or out. And once I got very close, then I used what I've always been taught as a 3-4-5 rule. I'm gonna try to do this, holding the camera and a tape measure on something that isn't solid anyway. That blue dot and that blue dot, I measured off of this end. See if, oh goodness, see if I can do this. You might take my word for some of this. See, that first dot is at 3, and if you come back here, the second dot is at 4. And if you're square, it should, if you go corner or dot to dot, you should be at 5 inches. And it is. Again, take my word for it, because I'm trying to hold a camera and a tape measure on a string that ain't solid. But anyway, I did that there, then I did the same thing down here, so it's all square. It went on about that longer than I wanted to. So then I marked, I'm running as far as my beam. The beams are going to run this way, then my joists are going to run like this every 16 inches. But my beam is going to be a double 2x8 coming through here, sitting on 6x6s. So I looked up the specs on that. I need to, if I'm running a double 2x8 with 2x8 joists sitting every 16 inches on center, that means these posts need to be at no more than every 6.5 feet. So all these posts are right at 6 feet, maybe a touch over on this one. But then these other ones out here are every 6 feet. I'm gonna have a post. I'm gonna have 4 posts total on each beam. And I've got it, I'm gonna have it set in a little bit. The string line is where the actual deck's gonna be, but I want my post sitting in on both places. I just don't like the post all the way up. It just seems to catch your eye too much when you're standing outside the deck. So that's what I've done. Then I come in a foot here. This is like 15 inches. I think technically you can go to 2 feet. I always hesitate to go that far. Probably ain't nothing wrong with it. But so anyway, everything's marked out. Time to dig. Inside these trees is gonna be fun. I'm gonna be all over some roots, I'm sure. And these holes have got to be really big. I think they got to be a 12-inch diameter, and I don't know how deep. Very deep. I need to get my little checklist out from the permit and code office, but I'm fixing to start digging holes. And oh yeah, material got here. Got some 16-foot 2x8s. Got some 10-foot 6x6s. What is that? 10 or 8 feet. Those might be 10 feet 2x8s. And a whole pile of composite deck boards. There's 2 pallets, some fascia sitting on top, and a few more 6x6s. Got some concrete under here. Got all our hidden fasteners that we're going to be using. That's all for now. Alright guys, quick update. This is the beginning of day 4, about 8:30 in the morning on Thursday. It took about 2 days to get the holes dug, 17 holes dug. I wasn't real familiar with what the inspector was going to want. I dug them 24 inches deep, and the inspector, the inspector showed up and said they everything was good. I only needed 12 inches deep. So, but I'm not upset that I dug them 24, other than the ground was hard as concrete. But it hadn't rained around here in about 3 months, and of course the night before the inspector came, it rained pretty much all night. It was raining when he got there, and with water and mud in the holes, he could not I can't think of the word, approve, that's it. He couldn't approve the footings is what he came for. So what he told me I could do was go ahead and start building my beams, and just kind of have the beams sitting on a temporary post, or we keep calling it a stiff knee or a foot, and the actual 6x6 posts that are going to go down in the hole, I can go ahead and attach those to the beam, and they'll just kind of hang down in the hole. So they might be 6 inches, 8 inches off the bottom of the hole, and I can just build the structure of the entire deck now. And when he comes back, he can check the he can do the footing inspection, and he can do the rough framing, or whatever that's called, I can't remember. Do that inspection. He'll be able to look in the hole, see that it's good, then I can just mix concrete and pour it down in the hole, and it'll fill in right up underneath the 6x6s, and then we can knock our temporary feet, stiff knees, we can go ahead and knock those down. The reason I'm kind of videoing this now is the homeowner, he's in his mid to late 70s. He's been out there with us the entire time yesterday, which it hadn't been bad. He's been holding a few things here and there, but I don't never really feel comfortable pulling a camera out and doing a whole lot of video, and when the homeowner's there, it probably wouldn't matter because he don't seem to care. But I just thought I'd kind of get all this out now instead of when I get there. So when I do get there, I'll walk around and show what we've got. We've got all 4 of the beams put up, braced, and with those temporary feet. So today I'm gonna pull a string perpendicular across all 4 of those beams and see if any of them are sitting low. I think one of them was sitting a little bit low, so I'll make those fine-tune adjustments. Connor will be off today and tomorrow, but my dad is going to come out at least today and help me with some things. So that's kind of where I'm at, and maybe I'll do a video after we get done for the day showing what we got done too. See you in a minute. Alright, so here's what we got. These holes, see how they had water in them? So this is our temporary legs I was talking about. Got those set up all the way around. You can see there's 4 beams out through there. So we got the height set on them. We've got their level running this way. And now all these legs are just sitting on bricks. So we'll come in and put a 6x6 notched out, put right here, and it'll go down and go about 6 inches off the bottom of that hole. So that when the inspector looks in that hole, he sees it's okay. We'll mix concrete, throw it in there, let it harden up overnight, and we come out and knock these posts out from under these beams. It's all the way around like that. We started over here, got these all braced up over here, and then from there we were able to go that direction, setting up the next beams. Come over here, let me get back over this way, set the height off of this. This is the existing deck, so I want my joist to line up right here. I don't know if you can see the string in this. Yeah, the string runs all the way across. That's where the first floor joist is going to be. So that means the beam will sit right up underneath that. And we've set that height all the way across. So what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to pull a string across the top, because I think that next beam is just a little bit low out through there, but I'll pull a string from here all the way, and see how the joists line up, or the beams line up. They're pretty good. But anyway, once I get that done, I can start putting some joists on top of this thing, floor joist. And once I get the joist done, at some point we'll go ahead and get these permanent posts up here so that I can call for my next inspection. I won't be waiting around too much. So that's the plan for today. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. I know this is gonna be hard to see, but I got 4 strings pulled from the first beam 30 feet down to that last beam. I got a string here, a string here, one more there, and one more past that. So what I'm seeing is that this beam seems to be sitting low. See the string, there's too much, there's a gap under there, and the next one seems to be okay. Same deal right here. It's sitting above the string, sitting above the beam, and the same thing here. And if we come down here, it's right on it. There, and all the way back. So it looks to me like I need to raise this beam. I'm gonna put a level on there and see what that's doing. And I can also put a string level and make sure that string's sitting level before I make adjustments to the wrong mark. But that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm not gonna video a whole lot of that, but I'm just gonna make some fine-tune adjustments before I start putting joist on this deck and it's not sitting right. Just making sure along the way that everything's level and plumb and good to go. You don't want to find that stuff out when you put a lot of effort. You got to start backing up. All right, quick update. All the actual framing we believe is done. Just waiting on an inspector. We got our 6x6s put in, but they are just hanging in the hole 6 or 8 inches above. Everything's on temporary post for now. This was just because we couldn't pass the footing inspection because it had water and muck in the holes. So we got all that cleaned out. Got an inspector coming tomorrow. We're hoping to get the footing inspection cleared and also the open floor inspection cleared. As you can see, we notched these posts. Got 5/8 galvanized bolts all the way around. There's 17 of these. So that's all done. I'm trying to think what else I haven't video. Got all these joists up. This to this mark right here is 20 feet off the house. We just let that run long. We'll come back, cut this down later. What else? Connor got all these hurricane straps put in today, all the way around. You can see these boards are overlapping about 1 foot or 1.5 feet on each side. See that? Something else we had to frame around these trees. Got all that done. We got a little gap right here. We've got this about 6 inches all the way around this tree, but we will let the deck boards come a little closer. And as the tree grows, we can trim. Somebody can trim these deck boards back. There's 5 total trees that we had to frame around. I'll go up top in a second. Show up from up top. And I did go ahead. I know I keep saying this, but we're going to picture frame this deck. We got 1 deck board up, but this board and this board is for the 2 picture framed deck boards that'll be running this way. I guess I just need to go up top because it's hard to see anything from here. So let me do that. All right, from up top, you can see the layout of this deck. I'll walk through here, see if I can do it without falling. So from here to here is 30 feet. From here to here is 20 feet. It's about 600 square feet, and then we got another 180, 200 square feet in here. Joists are running this way, so obviously the deck boards are going to run this way. I'm going to picture frame it with 2 deck boards running all the way around. So that's what we were doing today, getting the hurricane straps and kind of getting everything ready for the picture framing to be installed. Walk over here. So really didn't need to do anything to prep for the picture framing on this side, because they're going to run this way along with the deck boards. Now of course I did do a little bit right here. I got one more board to get in to do that, and I'll need to get a block in there for a post, but there's a block already right here where a post will land, and now you can see this deck board just kind of laying there. It's not screwed down, but then over here the outside boards here, or outside seal I think that's called, or the joist is there. There's another one here for this deck board to land on. Then the next deck board will come and land right here, and then I'll have room for my other boards to come and catch the other half of that joist. It runs like that all the way down. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but down there that one needs to be adjusted. But that's what we got. You can see again where we framed around those trees. Let me see if I can cruise back over there. Not done. It's framed up around the trees. See how we did that. Where we couldn't get a joist, we had to put a board across and run that into it so it transferred that load around it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, I got a block in there for a post. There's another block down here for a post. So a lot going on with this deck, a lot. It's a huge deck, 800 square feet, and it's pushing 7-8 feet off the ground over there. But that's all we got done so far. This is day 6. Tomorrow I'm hoping to pass them inspections and start laying these deck boards. That might take, I don't know, maybe we can get it done in 2 days. Then we can get the handrails put up. But that's all for now. Alright guys, you saw where we were on that deck. We are at the stage of putting deck boards down, minus pouring concrete in the holes. That's an awkward way of having to build that deck. I've never done that before. I've heard of it done that way, and the inspector even told me I could go ahead and do it that way. But I've just never done that. I had to spend about $200 on 2x4s and bracing material and all that. So it's either that or just, not do anything. So I went ahead and did that. I will be very glad to get concrete in those holes so that I can just know that it's secure and not just sitting there temporarily. And I've got it locked into the house in several places, but not enough to be considered permanent. But anyway, the bad news is it is supposed to rain tonight. It's supposed to start at like 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, actually. I called for the inspection this morning because I wanted to go ahead and get them out there before the rain, but they don't do inspections on the same day that you call. And then tomorrow I won't know what time he'll get there. Last time he was there at about 10:30. By then the holes will be full of water, so I'm hoping he can get out there. We're going to get there at 8 or 8:30, and if it has already started raining, we're going to start sucking water out of them holes with the shop vac, trying to keep them cleaned out and stay ahead of it. And hopefully he won't be too awfully long coming. But we do that and we can take off of those deck boards. So all we got left is the deck boards and the handrails. I mean, that's it. Today was day 6 being over there. It's just a massive deck. And it's so high off the ground. Everything's on the ladder. But I did want to go ahead and just post this video now because I'm sure I've repeated myself 500, 600, 700 times. So I figured I'd go ahead and stick it on there because I've forgotten what I've said, what I hadn't said. And again, I'm not able to do a lot of videoing, mainly because there's so much work that needs to be done. It's off the ground, and the homeowner's right there with us, which has been a lot of help. But you know, it's always kind of awkward pulling out a camera and talking to nobody when everybody up there's 2 other people standing there waiting on, you know, trying to work. So I'm gonna do the best I can. But I will throw it up a few times, try to explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and if there's something I feel like I could have done better, I'll talk about that towards the end. But for now, you got the first half of an 800 square foot picture framed composite deck. That's all. Oh, subscribe, and if you'll hit that bell when I put the part 2 up, you can have that